there is nothing that will better show you or tell you who has your back than when you actually need somebody to have your back. And what I mean by that is there were people that when I made the leap that I thought would help me, especially in the beginning. Like they would reach out, they would provide perhaps some like referrals or whatever it is, just be there and help the business succeed, especially early on. That it was just crickets. I heard nothing, you know? And then on the other side, there were people that I would have never thought would go as far as they've gone to help me.
Was leaving a steady career with a huge organization scary to you to just go off on your own?
People might not believe this, but it wasn't at all. Like there was no fear. And I think it's because the timing was right. Now, if I would have left when I wanted to leave, or if I would have left sooner, so I thought about doing this at least 4 or 5 times. I'm sure if anyone's listening that has worked in this field for a while, you have 100% been on like Indeed.com in the middle of the night saying, I'm changing jobs completely. Like we all go through that. It's emotionally draining. So there were a handful of times where I was like, I'm doing it. And if I would have left then, I would have been terrified because deep down, I would have known this isn't the right time, you know? And that's the thing. Like, if you're considering taking on a new change or a new career path or moving into a new position, deep down, you know if you're ready, right? Deep down, you know if this is the right time. Now, sometimes we convince ourselves otherwise, like maybe you're mad at your boss or you're a little you have some compassion fatigue and you're like, I'm leaving. But deep down, you know, well, I should probably do X, Y, and Z before I leave. But you know, emotionally tell yourself, I'm getting out of here. But for me, when that happened, I didn't leave. I said, you know what, I have more to learn. I have more experiences to get. The timing isn't right. So then when I finally did make the jump, I was ready. Like there was no hesitation, there was no fear. I had closure. And I had a lot of strong relationships that I knew would help me be successful. So it wasn't scary. Like I looked back at my legacy with Eckerd and I said, I'm proud of what I did. I'm proud of what I've accomplished. I'm proud of the leaders that are there now taking over for me. So now it's on to the next journey.
Yeah, so yeah, timing is everything, and also having that support system around you, when you're
Yeah.
ready to make that jump is vital. So who was in that group for you? Who supported you and how?
Ooh. Well, see, I don't want to name drop because if I name drop, I'm probably gonna forget names. I I will forget names. But I will tell you this is when you take on a new change and you make a jump like this, there is nothing that will better show you or tell you who has your back than when you actually need somebody to have your back. And what I mean by that is there were people that when I made the leap that I thought would help me, especially in the beginning. Like they would reach out, they would provide perhaps some like referrals or whatever it is, just be there and help the business succeed, especially early on. That it was just crickets. I heard nothing, you know? And then on the other side, there were people that I would have never thought would go as far as they've gone to help me that if it wasn't for them, there's no way my company would have been as successful as it was in the first year if it wasn't for them. And these were people I didn't even think about. So um, there's a long list of people that reached out, provided guidance, um, provided opportunity, which is the big one. You don't have to provide someone opportunity. You don't have to bring someone's name up when opportunities are being discussed. But there were a lot of influential people who did and said, "Hey, I know this is a new business. I know Curtis is really doesn't have all this stuff together, and I didn't. But give him a chance, and I'll put my name out there for him." And I'm very thankful for those people, and especially Healthy Families Florida. You all gave me my very first job at Speak for MC. It was my very first speaking engagement. I spoke at your conference, so shout out to y'all. Like that was the first one, and went up on that stage and I acted like I've been doing it, forever. But no, 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 that was the very first one, and y'all gave me the chance. So I definitely will always hold a special place in my heart for you and your team.
And we will always have a special place for you, Curtis.
And I want to thank those people that had my back. I 100% know who you are, and I am indebted to you, and I appreciate you. I just don't want to say your name because I'm gonna forget somebody else, right? And I've made that mistake when I was a leader. You know, you shout out the one person's birthday, and then you overlook the other person's birthday, and now it's just chaos, right? So I don't want to do that. But those that helped me and help Speak4MC succeed, I you are everything, and I appreciate that, and I won't forget.
That's it. And those people all know that you're referring to them when they listen, you know. So, what is one thing in the Speak4MC venture that you didn't expect was going to happen?
One thing I did not expect. I don't think I have an answer for that because I'm all about like the unexpected. I actually I'm more comfortable when things aren't going according to plan, if that makes sense. Even when I perform my trainings or my speaking, probably about 70% of what I'm going to do that day is built out. But what I thrive in is that 30% of what's going to happen that I can't expect. The reaction from the attendees or the audience, or that extra piece of information, that the topic that came up that I wasn't expecting, and be able to improv and talk about that. Like, those are the moments I want, the unexpected. So when the unexpected happens, I don't think I like reflect and say, wow, that came out of nowhere, because those are the moments that I enjoy. So I don't think there was something that was unexpected. I will say maybe one of the biggest challenges is wearing so many hats. You know, because when you have your own business, you're the CEO, you're the CFO, you're the employee, you're the marketing person. You know, so trying to make sure you are allocating your time appropriately for each of those parts so stuff doesn't fall through the cracks. That's probably been the biggest learning curve, you know. And I have a good supervisor. You know, when I want a day off, he's pretty flexible, but you know, sometimes we get into it back and forth.
Gotcha.
That's another bad joke, Heather. I don't know if you caught it or then any of the audience caught it, but
yeah, you know. I did.
All right.
It took me a second, but I'm like, wait a minute, he's talking about himself.